Kenia Monge was just 19 years old, with her whole life ahead of her. On the fateful night in April 2011, she went out with friends, as any young person should be able to do without fear. But something terrible happened, and Kenia vanished without a trace. We would like to extend our sincere condolences to the loved ones of Kenia who fell victim to this unimaginable act. Hi and welcome back to Crime Case Files. Kenia was born in Honduras on January 26, 1992. Maria, her mom, was only 15 when she had her. Young motherhood was hard for her, but Maria was very focused on her future, and she made the brave choice to leave Kenia with her grandma and move to the United States. It broke Maria's heart to leave Kenia with her grandmother, but she knew it was best. Maria met Tony Lee in the United States, and the two of them had 2 children, Ken and Anthony. Kenia moved to the United States in 2004 to be with her mom in the land of new starts. At first, she did not speak much English, but her drive helped her learn fast. Tony became her loving dad, and her new family welcomed her with open arms. Kenia and her half-sister Kim became the best of friends and could not be apart. Their friendship warmed my heart, and Kenia's life seemed perfect. Kenia came from Honduras, where he did not have many chances, so he enjoyed every time he spent in the United States. She did well at Cherry Creek High School and then went to Denver College to study broadcasting, which was her true interest. Kenia's life was getting better after her and her boyfriend, Louis Easton, moved into their own apartment. Kenia was not just smart, she also had a golden heart. Everyone who knew her could see that this smart young woman was going to be successful because of how kind and friendly she was. But no one knew that her life would soon take a sad turn that would shock and stun her family and friends. Kenia and her friends wanted to check out the scene in downtown Denver, just like every other group of teenagers. But since they were not old enough to drink legally, they used fake IDs to get into bars and parties. Tony and Maria, Kenia's parents, did not know this because they always thought their daughter was responsible and followed the rules. But teens will always be teens. On March 31st, 2011, Kenia and her friends decided to have some fun and let loose for a while. They went to the 24K Lounge. They were looking forward to a night out. Kenia had a great time drinking and dancing with her friends all night. Kenia and her friends got drunk as the night went on. Kenia was very young, so she felt the effects of drinking faster than most people. She got drunk even though she did not drink much. In the early hours of the next morning, she left her things with her friends and went to the bathroom. She asked them to keep an eye out for them while she was away. But as time went on, she never came back. Kenia was tripping after she went to the bathroom because she had had too much to drink. When the club's doorman saw this, he threw her out. She had left her phone and purse on the table. Now she was all alone on the ground and could not get her things back from her friends. Back inside, when she did not come back, her friends started to worry. They looked for her in the club and in the bathroom, but they could not find her. Kenia's friends thought she must have left with someone she knew or had met at the club. They agreed to keep her things safe and give them back the next day. They did not know that all of her things, including the key to her house, were in those bags. This new group, unlike her close friends, did not make a deal to never leave the club without each other or check in to make sure everyone was safe. Kenia was rare in that she did not tell her friends where she was. But because they were friends with different people, they did not feel the need to look for her before leaving the club that night. As the hours went by, they had no idea that their seemingly harmless choice would lead to a chain of events that would shock and scare them and everyone else who knew Kenia. Louis was worried the next morning when she did not come home. She has not called or texted either. It was strange because she always let him know where she was. Something did not feel right, and he did not know what was wrong. She could not be anywhere. A mystery was happening, and Louis could not get rid of the feeling that something was very wrong. As soon as the sun came up in the morning, Louis called Kenia's sister, Kim, and asked if she knew anything about where Kenia was. Kim had no answers, which was sad. Lewis told her she should talk to their parents and ask if they knew anything. Kim called her parents. Tony and Maria rushed home from work with worried looks on their faces. They looked everywhere they could think of and asked everyone they could think of who might know where Kenia was. According to her close group of friends, the night before, she was with her other friends. But since they had not seen her at all, this made the puzzle even bigger. In the afternoon, Kenia's friends who had been with her the night before and were worried about her went to Kenia's home. Tony, Maria, and Kim were full of questions for them. Some of Kenia's friends admitted that they had used fake IDs to get into the bar. They also said that the last time they saw her was right after midnight. To everyone's surprise and fear, Kenia's friends brought her purse to the Kenia's home, saying that she had left it on a table at the nightclub. They found her phone, keys, and cash in there. This news hit Kenia's family like a ton of rocks because she never left the house without her phone. In their hearts, they knew that something was very wrong. Tony was worried, but he did not give up on the situation. He looked through Kenia's phone carefully, hoping to find any sign of where she was. Then he found a strange text message from an unknown number. "Hey, this is Travis, the guy who gave you a ride last night. White creepy van. Did you get home okay?" Tony's heart beat fast because he was excited. Could this be the clue they have been looking for to find Kenia? He called the number over and over, trying to get help, but no one answered. Tony and Maria chose to file a report about a missing person because they were upset and worried. The cop on the line did not seem to care at all. He told them to wait 3 days before reporting it. Tony did not give up, though. Tony tried to get in touch with Travis over and over again. Last but not least, Travis called on Saturday. He told Tony that he saw Kenia talking to a poor man outside the club while she was drunk. Travis was worried about her safety, so he offered to drive her to her car, which was parked somewhere else. They could not find Kenia's car at the party. Travis offered to drive her home. She told him where she lived, and he said he was familiar with the area. But all of a sudden, Kenia wanted cigarettes, so they stopped at a closed gas station where she met a guy named Dan Hinian. Dan talked to him in Spanish, and then the two of them walked away, and Travis lost sight of her. Tony did not think Travis' story made sense and found it hard to believe. Despite that, he thanked Travis for telling him. Then, Tony called the cops and told them about the scary things Travis had told him. He asked them to look into a report of a lost person, but they said it had not been long enough and wouldn't. Tony was angry at how they answered. He called Travis again and asked him a lot of questions. Travis said they should meet at the gas station in Kanako, where Kenia was last seen. Tony agreed because he was eager to find the answers. He had to find out what was going on right away and could not wait any longer. Tony put down the phone and grabbed his 9mm pistol. Maria asked him where he was going because she was worried. Tony said that since the police were not helpful, he had to meet Travis at the gas station. She was afraid. She thought it was a bad plan. She begged them not to go because she was afraid they would do something stupid. But Tony had no choice and left without saying anything else. Maria was very worried about her husband's safety, so she called the police and told them where Tony was going and that he had a gun that was against the law. Since Colorado is an open carry state, the police decided to send an officer to make sure things stayed under control. When Tony got to the gas station, the cop, Travis, and his friend were already there. Travis told Tony the same story he had already told him, that he was with Kenny and his friend, who later left with a man named Dan after asking for a cigarette. Tony thought Travis was honest, but something did not feel right about the story. Kenia would not just leave like that. The police officer had the same idea and asked Tony to give him some space so he could talk to Travis more. As the cop talked, Tony moved closer to Travis's van. He could not get away from the strong smell of bleach, which left him confused. He told the cop about the strange smell, and both of them looked into the van. They could not ignore the strong chemical smell coming from the van, and they saw a new carpet inside, which made them even more suspicious. The cop asked Travis to check out the van, and he agreed. When they opened the back door, the carpet looked brand new, but the front was full of trash and food wrappers. The officer thought it was odd, but he did not have a reason to stop him. As they were getting ready to leave, Travis approached Tony and remarked that he wished he had followed through on something. Tony expressed his thanks and extended his hand for a handshake, but Travis's hand trembled noticeably. At that moment, a hunch formed within Tony that Travis had been the last person to see Kenia while she was still alive. After 72 hours, the police started looking into Kenia's abduction on April 4th, when they questioned Travis, who was 31 years old. They found out some scary things about his past, like that when he was 17, he was charged with breaking into 16 homes and businesses and taking more than $15,000 worth of goods. Travis was found guilty of felony burglary and was supposed to spend 9 years in jail. However, things went wrong and he ended up in a military camp where he was soon kicked out and put on probation. In 1998, when he was still on probation, he was charged with criminal stalking. In 1999, he broke his probation by using a knife, which showed he was dangerous and led to community service. Because of these new facts, Travis became a suspect in Kenia's abduction. More scary facts about Travis's dark past came to light. In 2004, he threw rocks at a woman who was jogging, which was considered an attack, and got him sent to jail. Later, he admitted to being a drug addict and stealing from a dentist's office, which got him a 3-year jail sentence for burglary. Detectives noticed that he went from committing small crimes to serious ones. Travis's ex-girlfriend said that during sexual role-playing, he had changed and started to take pleasure in hurting other people. The fact that he stole women's underwear and treated women badly also made people worried. Also, breaking bedtime 43 times showed that he did not care. Travis's risk-taking and violent behavior made a scary picture, leaving investigators to figure out what was really going on with Kenia's disappearance. Kenia's family and friends worked hard to find her after she went missing. They put up missing person flyers everywhere and put up signs all over the neighborhood. Everyone in the town was shocked when she disappeared. Louis kept putting up flyers that said, "I am going to sleep praying. I get on my knees every day and cut. Please bring Kenia home, please. We had to do it. You know she is our friend." On April 5th, the owner of Debbie's Bakery and Cafe, Monica Poole, gave police surveillance footage of Travis Warps from April 1st. He told the cops that Travis had rented a place there to make his 40s, which are gluten-free granola bars. Travis was taken to the Denver police station the next day for an interview. He told the same story he told at the gas station. He said he was with his girlfriend Carrie Humphrey on April 1st and then went to work. But when police looked into it more, they found that his phone records did not match his alibi and that he was not anywhere near his girlfriend's house at the time. Detectives knew how bad things were and had almost given up on finding Kenia alive. On April 8th, Denver Police Lieutenant Matthew Murray said, "We get a lot of missing cases. No one thinks the girl ran away. We have reason to believe that what happened was not good. We are very concerned." On April 2nd, Monica Poole, the owner of Debbie's Bakery, eagerly gave detectives important information. When she got to the store, she was shocked to find that the security cameras were off. When she looked at the tape, she saw Travis in the bakery by himself at 7:30 p.m. on April 1st. He had on long gloves made of rubber. Monica says that Travis should not have been at the shop on April 1st. Before the cameras were turned off, the video was watched by detectives. Travis was seen putting a duct-taped cart in the walk-in freezer. He took the carpet roll into the room and then came back out with a bleach ball. He turned off the cameras after that. Near Debbie's Bakery, detectives talked to shop owners of other places. One person who saw what was going on said that 2 men were burning a 55-gallon barrel and that a white van was close. The next day, another owner saw Travis cleaning out a big white cooler in his car. When Monica asked Travis why he set the fire, he said it was because the marijuana was bad. He also said that he turned the cameras off so he could get ready. Monica knew that he lied a lot. She also saw the cut on his arm, which he said a homeless person gave him while he was sleeping in the van. Monica Poole remembered that he did some strange things, like sell oats for a very low price and talk about leaving the country. He was angry and said that Kenia had ruined his life. Soon after that, he got in his car and drove to Austin, Texas, leaving everyone confused and worried about what he was bringing. Detectives looked at every part of Travis's story over and over again, but his quick disappearance raised more questions. They talked to Travis's lover, Carrie, who confirmed that he was with her, but phone records showed that their story was not true. Travis was not with Carrie. He was in Keansburg, which is 40 miles away. Police looked for Kenia 15 times in Keansburg over many months, on foot, on horseback, and in an airplane, hoping to find her living. He also looked for any signs of human remains, but despite all of their hard work, nothing turned up. But the mystery kept getting harder to figure out, and no one knew what would happen to Kenia. Travis was arrested on May 4th in Austin, Texas, because someone said he stole a car. Detectives flew over to talk to him for 3 hours and show him clips from the surveillance tape. Travis had an explanation for everything. He said that the moldy weed in the barrel was to blame. He also made fun of the police by asking why they had not arrested him. He would not say anything about his relationship with Kenia and asked for a lawyer instead. Later, detectives got a DNA sample by using a search warrant. He was told to go back to Colorado on June 30th, but his friend dropped the charges of car theft, which set him free. Travis went back to Denver and Fort Collins. Detectives kept an eye on him. They went with him to bars and nightclubs and even saw him get into an argument with the Fort Collins police while he was drunk. They told the Fort Collins police about Travis's fears. The Denver detectives hoped Travis would help them, but after the first night's event, he seemed to calm down, so there was no reason to keep watching him. And after 3 nights of watching, the cops stopped. Travis Forbes walked around downtown Fort Collins on July 4th, looking for his next target. Lydia Tillman, a bartender from Longmont, Colorado, had just moved back to the area and was enjoying the fireworks show by herself. She did not know that there was a danger behind her. After the fireworks were over, Lydia walked home, not knowing that Travis was following her. When she got to her apartment, he beat her up and forced her inside. He hit her and choked her, taking advantage of his strength. He also hit her with a lot of punches, which broke her jaw and hurt her brain badly. Lydia fought back, but he was too strong for her. Travis's evil plan was to put bleach on her dead body and set fire to the apartment. Even though the room was on fire, something in Lydia would not give up. She did everything she could and jumped out of a second-story window to get away from the fire. As firefighters, cops, and an ambulance got there, they found a brave person still alive in the rubble. Lydia was taken to the hospital right away, but her pain did not end there. When the cops asked her about her attacker, she had nothing but a heartbreaking no to say. She had a stroke right after she got to the hospital, which put her in a coma for 5 painful weeks. As the apartment fire spread, forensic evidence seemed lost, yet investigators found microscopic DNA from unrelated snails, possibly connecting to the attacker. Detectives noticed similarities between Kenia's and Lydia's cases, leading them to suspect Travis Forbes. Travis, the main suspect after Lydia's attack, was closely watched. He was arrested for false information. Forensics matched DNA from Lydia's nails to Travis's blood sample, leading to more charges. Travis proposed a deal during a jail visit. He confessed to killing Kenia. Travis received life sentences. What do you think of this case? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.